Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm gonna give you guys a little uh I think a very long video of what I've been doing throughout most of the day and possibly back then. Started a long time ago and probably after the first season ended. And the title should be really obvious. And to let you all know, if you have not caught up with the manga to this point, or if you even started the manga, if you do not know the series at all, or something, I suggest you leave. I suggest you leave right away, and so forth, because this will contain a lot of spoilers and a lot of shocking, surprising moments here and there. Well, I will get to the most important ones of certain spoilers, but seriously, even though you watched Assassination Classroom the first season, I really suggest or recommend that you start from the very beginning, which I was told millions and millions and millions of people to start from the beginning of the Assassination Classroom manga, or you could call it Ansatsu Kyoshitsu. I suggest you start from the very beginning and read to up to date with the latest chapter right now. That's the one thing I can tell you right now. Because when I started from the very beginning and finished it up to the latest chapter, it actually gave out a lot of good detail and so forth. And honestly, I had very great time enjoyment. So those of you who don't know the series and never started the manga or watched the first season, I suggest you leave right away. Even to those who watched the first season of Assassination Classroom, I suggest you just get. I suggest start. You can start wherever you want to, but I suggest you start from the beginning. But I suggest you get out of this video right away. Stop watching if you are not up to date with the manga, because seriously, some serious stuff is going down. Especially when I looked at these chapters after looking at these chapters. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get started right away. But those of you who wants to listen and wants to get spoiled, be my guest. But didn't say I didn't warn you. So I'm gonna start in three, two, one. Okay. I'll let you all know, I did start the manga, many weeks ago, on June 25th. After Assassination Classroom anime series just ended, I told myself I'm gonna start the manga. Except, I decided to talk to a couple, friends or someone to, where should I start? Should I start from this chapter or from the very beginning? And one of the guys tell me you should start from the very beginning, even though it may be a recap. It gives out a lot of detail, which it really did, and I really appreciate the fact that I started from the very beginning, because all that detail right there literally played a major part for each individual character that had its development. No joke. Honestly, if I were to think about the adaptation right now, I gotta say it did its job, but I really wish it could have been better if it added in more episodes and give out more background and development for our characters, because that's what it has been missing for so many people who plays a big old role. And of course, that's all throughout the very beginning up to a certain chapter in the 70s or something. Nothing much really going on. Just I just read. It's like I read season 1 of Ansatsu no Kyoshitsu anime. It's like that, but more and more detail. That's what it gave me. So it's like this. I read chapters 1 to 70 at least, or 73, 74, 75, 76 at most, and that is pretty much a recap, but more detail about certain individuals. And starting from here on out, it starts to get a little bit more tough and interesting, and so on. After I finished those chapters right there, around chapters 1 through 75 or 76, I believe that's where it ended, and then we started a new semester, I believe. We had to it that one of the classmates is actually trying to move up one class, go to class A. This is where the spoilers are, so I suggest you get out right now, seriously. But I already gave you a warning at the beginning, so yeah, be my guest, you won't get spoiled. So one of the students went up to class A, but eventually, after realizing a couple chapters later, he realized something was wrong, and he decides to not go into class A anymore after what the principal, the boss of the entire school wanted him to do. And he went back to Class E, which is a good thing, which is pretty sweet here and there. And you know, like, we have some certain development here and there for our certain characters and so forth, but major big spoilers though. Like, seriously, like I said, you want to get spoiled, be my guest. When I got into this certain arc, like, it's pretty much the Death of God or God of Death arc. Dude, that was some serious crack right there. Like, I'm not gonna spoil a lot. I'm just gonna say I'm pretty shocked to see what was going on, and it shows a lot about Karasuma Sensei, dude. Like, that guy's a straight up demon, that's for sure. Like, when I got into that arc right there, like, I just started today and so forth. I decided to end up getting back into Assassination Classroom like yesterday, and then getting to where I am right now, and then finishing off to the latest chapter today. I was pretty shocked like hell right now. Especially when it came to certain parts here and there. And of course, some of the other chapters, like when after 77 or 78 or something, I believe, after the student went from Class E to Class A and then went back to Class E, there was a competition between Class A and Class E as always, you know, and they lost terribly. Spoilers, like I said, like I'm telling you right now, it's up to you if you want to get spoiled or not. I'm not gonna give you guys a lot of detail. I'm just giving you the results right now. Like I said, like there's been a lot of competition between Class A and Class E, especially when it came to the exams, dude. I was pretty worried like hell, but I get to know more about the boss of the school, you know. And even though like what happened to him maybe somewhat tragic if I could look at it, it still doesn't really work out like that, you know? I'm just being honest right now and so forth. I'm just telling you guys what I'm telling you right now and how I feel, you know? So, yeah. And I'm just telling you my journey with Assassination Classroom, you know? But when it came to like a certain chapter, like after the couple things here and there of Class A and Class E, you know, we get to a point where one of the students was playing actress, and that was not a good thing, and this almost killed Koro Sensei. Lucky enough he survived and so forth, and they managed to get her out of it, and that's when Nagisa starting to play a role, which is pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. But after that arc right there, I get into one of the tragic arcs of something, and this relates to Koro Sensei, big time. Like seriously, if you don't want to hear any more about like if you don't want to hear any more right now, like about Koro Sensei, I suggest you get out right now. Like seriously, right now. Like I already told you at the beginning, if you want to get spoiled, be my guest. But if you don't, I suggest you leave until you catch up with the manga and then you watch this video, you know? That's what I'm telling you right now. And I warned you millions of times already. So, yeah, I'm going to start and talk about Koro Sensei's past, which is pretty like, saddening, emotional, and shocking at a certain point. So, yeah, like I said, you don't want to hear about it, I suggest you stop this video, close it, and start the manga, and then watch this video. Yeah, I told you that like 2 or 3 times or more. Forgive me. So, I'll get started with Koro Sensei right now. So, I find out that this guy, and so forth, has been having a lot of issues in his past time. He was actually, like, in a poverty state. Like, he was so poor. He was actually human at that time as well. But later on, he was actually the first god of death. Like, the greatest, deadliest assassin god of death. The first one in all of history in the series. He was the god of death. Eventually, you know, he had no choice but to kill, because that's the only thing he lived for. That's the only thing he can do to survive. He's been killing and killing and killing and killing and killing people. Millions and millions of people. Innocents, lives, dude, like everything. And then he used to have a student, but he betrayed him. Later on, like, and that was when the gods God of Death arc kicked in, which happened around like a certain chapters, which lasted about like 9 to 10 chapters at most. That arc lasted about like 9 to 10 chapters at most. And this person, the guy in the ghost costume whatsoever, I can understand why he wants to kill Koro Sensei now. Besides all that, going back to what happened to Koro Sensei, going into Koro Sensei's backstory, when it came to like him being arrested and so forth, he managed to escape by becoming a guinea pig. And later on, he ended up meeting this woman who actually is the first teacher to teach Class E. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. I was shocked. And later on, they end up working together, talking to each other like la 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 la, like a lovey-dovey couple, you know? But eventually, all because of the experiments that's been happening to Koro Sensei, the first god of death, assassin, greatest assassin, there's been a deadly experiment that happened to one person besides Koro Sensei. It happened on an animal. It was a rat. And I believe that rat was the one that destroyed the moon, if I looked at it carefully. And they realized like, oh no, if we don't kill Koro Sensei now, he's going to destroy the earth. And that is not a good thing. So, let me explain. They tested the rat first, and they ended up testing out on Koro Sensei that was like human, the first god of death. And they realized this rat is somehow changing and went into crazy psycho bomb mode and made the moon a crescent shape as it is right now. And I go like, oh my gosh. And they both realize if they don't stop Koro Sensei or kill him soon, he's gonna blow up the earth just like what the rat did to the moon. But it's gonna destroy everything. Like, kapow, boom, black hole, period. End of story. And then, you know, like, Koro Sensei gets all crazy Milanakis and decides to test out his powers and tries to escape. He's been waiting for that moment. And that's when his metamorphosis or transformation kicked in. And the teacher who's in Class E tries to stop him. And when one of their weapons attacked her, she took the blow and dies. And that is one of the students' sister. Like, literal sister. That's when she thought Koro Sensei killed her. But I did not think of that because I'm pretty sure he would never do that. But looking at the backstory, what he did, he could have done that. And later on that time, like when he knows that he only has 1 year left, he decides to fulfill the wish of what the teacher wanted him to do. Go teach students, go save lives, do what you gotta do, that kind of thing. And I go like, so that's how he became a teacher, and that's why he wants to become a teacher. And this is where like things gotten serious. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh. And that's how he used all of his Mach speed, all of his knowledge, all of his supernatural power, Mach 20 speed, to like teach and study and teach the kids of Class E. Class E. I was pretty emotional right there when I read his backstory, dude. Like, no tomorrow, I got no freaking words to say. Like, I'm thinking in my mind, dude, this can't really be happening right now. Could it? Like, seriously, I was pretty saddened of what happened to him. He was in poverty as a kid, like no home, no mother and father possibly gotten killed, and he became an assassin, the first god of death, assassin. And later on, after the backstory finished, every student did not doubt his story. They did not like say, oh, I bet this is fake or something. They did not think of that. Not even B Sensei and Karasuma Sensei did not think it was fake. They realized like this was pretty devastating. And I think in my mind, of course it's devastating. You would be crazy not to feel devastated. And this is where Nagisa and the Class E students go like, this is where they realize like, can they kill the teacher? Because everything they've done together with him up to this point, can they really kill him? Can they kill him? And I'm thinking in my mind, oh dear Lord, like, I knew something like this was going to come because the moment I read the plot in Assassination Classroom's first anime, like the first season, when they mentioned like this is the best teacher they ever had, and I'm thinking in my mind, this is gonna be very hard because if this is the best teacher they ever had or have, they're gonna have difficulty even kill him, even though if they even have the skills. So that's why Koro Sensei managed to teach all these kids about a couple things here and there about their skills and agility and physiological power. I forgot to also mention he wanted to be weak. That's why he tried to find many weak points of what he wanted to do, which is one of the reasons why Nagisa managed to point it down like 100 of them. And Nagisa and the class E students realized like, can we really kill our teacher? Like, can we really do it? And I'm thinking in my mind, wherever you go right now, man, it's gonna determine who you are and who you really want to be. What you're gonna do, how you're gonna plan it, how you're gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie, after reading that backstory right there, I was struggling like no tomorrow with my mentality and my emotions. I got nothing else to say after that, you know? But after that backstory, we have to it that Nagisa decides to call in his classmates and wants to make up an idea, a good plan, which is something like that he wants to work out. This is gonna be up to the latest chapter, so if you're not up to the latest chapter, I suggest you stop the video and get out. I already warned you millions of times. I don't even know I'm warning you right now because I already spoiled enough for you guys already. So Nagisa gathers all the classrooms and they want to talk it out in the forest, and he says he wants to save him. Instead of killing him, he wants to save him. He thought of an idea after thinking about what's been going on around his head, you know, along with some other students. They agreed with wanting to save him. It's pretty cool. However, we all know one thing. Not everyone's gonna agree with what the person's gonna do because they have different thoughts and ideologies and beliefs of their own to live by. One of them, which is one of the English students that got a perfect score and so forth, and there was a backstory about her being very detailed, which I'm not going to spoil here because I already told you about that. Well, I didn't tell you about that, but more detail about the background of our characters, like how they got in their development here and there, you know. But she is the first one, the one that earned 100 points on the English midterm or exam, if I remember correctly. If you remember correctly, she says, because the bonds I have with him are so strong and good, I have to kill him. I was confused right there as I try to give some analyzation, like, because your bond is so strong, you want to kill him. Otherwise, like, she might be thinking, like, because, like, I care about this guy so much, I want to kill him. Otherwise, like, sorry to ruin all that. Even Terasaka agrees with that. Even Terasaka gives out a good point right there that I'm not going to deny. He tells everybody, even if you want to save him, can you do it? How are you going to do it? This guy's a freaking octopus from the very moment he was a human experiment. Even if we know the material, even our science freaks, they only have college level science. That's like the only limited thing they have. How are you gonna save? Pretty much Terasaka is like saying, how are you gonna save an octopus sensei who's gonna die in about a couple months or something and blow up the earth? Even many of them say like because the way how he taught us, I care for him, I want to kill him. Nagisa tries to fight for his ideology and his belief, but karma comes in, and this is where another kind of drama and arc kicks in. Like, seriously, no tomorrow, this kicks in where karma tells Nagisa, like, yo, sometimes the abilities and talents we have, we tend to be drowned in them and try to figure something out. We don't even think right either way. So, Karma tells Nagisa, like, how about you think real hard about this first, okay? So just back it off and think on it. And Nagisa tries to fight with his beliefs again, but Karma tells him, don't you get it? This guy has been making us have a fun time, but even so, everything we've done up to this now about Bloodlust, we're gonna throw it away and waste it? Are you crazy? Nagisa tried to tell Karma, think about the times we spent together with them, all the fun times, think about that. But Karma already says, like, dude, there's no other point. Everything we worked up until now is gonna be wasted. How do you expect to save him of that, huh? That was a very strong belief that Karma lived by. Even Nagisa has nothing to say, but he ends up having a stare at Karma, and this really ticks off Karma because, like, he sees Nagisa as one of the craziest, best assassins in the classroom. He goes like, hey, what's with that face right there, huh? And he pushes Nagisa around and was trying to pick a fight with him. He says, if you're gonna start complaining, complain once after you kick my butt. Come on, show me something. And after Karma grabbed Nagisa's tie, Nagisa got him into a flying triangle choke. And Nagisa says, my belief is not half-butted, you know? It's not fake or anything, you know? That kind of thing. Karma was about to get into a finishing blow, but many people break up the fight, and this is where things gotten heated. They're in their third years already, you know? Like juniors and juniors fighting against each other. That's one thing I'm gonna say and tell you guys right now. This is where, like, the real stuff begins. And why we, as humanity, get into fights a lot. It's no joke. And so forth. And Koro Sensei suggests an idea. All-out killing spree. You guys choose. There's red and blue. And I'm thinking in my mind, dear Lord, it has to be red and blue, huh? Not gonna lie, but I've always questioned this to myself. Why is red and blue like a fierce antagonistic towards each other, or has a craziest rivals against each other? And let you all know, if you kept up with me, I'm a red color fan, okay? I love red to my heart's delight. That's one thing I'm telling you guys right now. I love red to my heart's delight. And after that, Koro Sensei says, like, you guys try to kill each other. Pick your teams and pick your color. But once all this is over, I want you guys to not be in a skihism, which I decided to look up since I forgot or something, or I don't know it. It's like two split up groups with different beliefs and ideologies charging towards each other, you know? It's like a debated thing. Like, for example, like, not gonna say it, but like United States against Asia, you know, that kind of thing. Like two different groups of beliefs and so forth. Koro Sensei tells him, like, no matter who wins or loses, please do not be in two different groups. That's all I ask, Koro Sensei said. Many people says, when it came to the other chapter, two people picked red and they want to continue the assassination because, like, because everything we've done up to it now, I want to continue the assassination. Many others wants to save Koro Sensei because of what they did with them. Another says, like, because I want to show him how well I've grown, I want to kill him, and so forth. And when it came to Karma and Nagisa picking their side, of course Nagisa is blue and Karma is red. When they stared at each other, they turned away and so forth, you know? It's like two things hating each other, you know? And you know what's worse? They were actually best buddies and friends back in the old days, which is pretty crazy. So I'm guessing, like, I guess sooner or later you will get into a fight with your best friend no matter what. That's how, like, it is. That's what I realized and so forth, that I guess sometimes even when you have differences, it's not going to be solved that a certain way. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. But when it came to, like, this and that with Karma and Nagisa, and after that, here's how it is, like, the rules of the game when they actually try to kill each other is this. First team to be eliminated wins. First to grab the flag gets him to submit, wins, blah blah blah. There's a bunch of rules around here. And later on, you know, when the fight began here and there, it's pretty crazy. I forgot to mention about B Sensei mentioning one thing. The ugliest thing to kill someone is killing your emotions and so forth, you know, which is pretty devastating, which I could understand from a certain belief. If you don't get it or if you don't understand, I suggest you go find the chapter yourself and take a look at it, because I know I suck at analyzation and suck at giving you guys certain detail, but the detail I'm giving you right now is enough to spoil the living life out of you. That's for sure. So after a couple things here and there, we have to it that things have been getting tough and rough, and you know, especially for our teammates. At the beginning, we have a couple people eliminated. Then in the middle, a lot of people get captured and killed, you know. But some of them fell into traps. Some of them get shot behind without knowing, because the present state, the training they had, and now they're competing against each other, is starting to show already. But when I got into a certain chapter, which is I think the second to up to date, and then I got into the up to date chapter after that, Karma calls Nagisa out, like telling him, "Get out here, you and me, one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat, see who wins." Which is something like calling like seriously, like this is where like the real thing begins, because Karma has always been the one with great combat experience than Nagisa. Like there was a little backstory about like how Karma's always been getting into fights and beating down people without no mercy because of what they did or what they've been doing to him, especially to Nagisa. And now it's between two best friends or best buddies that used to be, putting everything on the line. One wants to kill, the other wants to save. Who's gonna win? That's the question I put in my mind and what it's going to show. So the fight starts off in the other chapter, and Karma actually has the advantage due to the fact that he actually knows procedures and knows his moves and techniques. Nagisa, on the other hand, also has moves and techniques. And after that, you know, like Karma was at a winning advantage point. However, Nagisa wasn't as playing as usual and managed to get him into a desperate situation and injures him. It ends off with Nagisa like having the knife in his hand and ready to deal the final blow, and it ends off in a cliffhanger, which got me pretty crazed up and out of control. Out of control, that's for sure. So yeah, this is a little like small like recap or review or a long video somewhat, whatever you want to call it, of me like telling you guys what I felt and how was my journey with Assassination Classroom's manga from the beginning to the end, where I catched up on. I gotta say, it's been one hell of a ride, that's for sure. That's one thing I am going to tell you and let you know right now. I could have caught up earlier and caught up to where I am today, but I was kind of lazy and lacking off. That's why I started around this week, because I don't got much time left. Time is limited, time is scarce, and so forth. I'm going to be honest with you, this journey of mine right here had a lot of plot twists, that's for sure. A lot of plot twists. A lot. And a lot of character development for each and one of our students, dude. Like, not to be offensive, I really wish, like, Assassination Classroom's first season gave out more of that detail of our characters. Even if it has to be short or long or even long-lasting, I'd rather see it adapted it properly. But I think it did somewhat of a good job when I looked at it for now, when I looked at the first season of Assassination Classroom. But guarantee of all hell right now, like, talk about like a series of clashes after the backstory of Koro Sensei, dude. This is why like we get into so many fights, because like different ideologies. One wants to save Koro Sensei, the other one wants to save him, and they both have good reasons. It's debatable. It's not even something to laugh about. Everyone has the ways of striking back, which is something like most of the anime community may not understand, but anyways, it's been a crazy ride, you know. This video is gonna be hella long, that's for sure. Those of you who kept up the latest chapter, this is how I feel. This is how my journey went and how things gotten really out of control. Especially when it came to like the backstory of Koro-sensei. Dear Lord, man, I was like, what the hell? Are you serious? That's a crazy plot twist. Everything has a plot twist, dude. And a lot of development and character, in terms of character development, there's a lot of it too. But right now, from where I'm standing, there's one side that wants to save, the other wants to kill. But which one's gonna succeed? They just gave me a cliffhanger like that with the latest when I went up to date with this chapter right now. So yeah, this is how I feel right now, guys. I don't really know what's gonna happen, but guarantee of all hell right now, from where I'm standing, it's gonna be one crazy ride, that's for sure. There's no going back now. Now, next week could give me the final answer or give me somewhat of a final answer, though. It could be unlikely, though I don't know. Red versus blue. Talk about some two colors trying to go against each other, want to slaughter each other. That's for sure. I got nothing else to say, people. Those of you who kept out my video that's like very, very long, because I know it for sure. Thank you for listening all the way and watching, even though it may be a waste of your time. But I appreciate that. But I am very grateful and appreciative that you understand how I feel and so forth and had fun with it. So I really don't know what's gonna happen, but guaranteed next week this can determine like what could happen. Don't know how it's gonna end, but whatever ends, as Koro-sensei says, don't make a schism. That's all I can say. Or skihism. How we want to pronounce it. Like two different groups of people with different beliefs and ideologies. Yeah. I've been talking for a long time. My throat's like out of juice. It's like I can't even yell anymore and so forth. So I thank you all for watching and listening to what I said in the video. And to those of you who kept up the latest manga, those of you who did not keep up and so forth, I did warn you already many times and so forth. So yeah. Until then, I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye.